Sports Rewind Digital. We are live, BJ in the house. It's been a few weeks, mate.
It has, mate. It has. I'm still a bit croaky now. Actually, I was a bit crook. I know I had to bail on you. And yeah, a bit of life getting in the road for yourself as well. Work and all that sort of stuff.
It's that time of year, isn't it?
It's getting there. It's getting there. It's getting to the festive season. Time to drink. Something different for me.
What? No water. No dirty water.
On the beers tonight, mate. Just the beers.
Yeah.
So what about you, mate? What's been happening?
Mate, heaps going on. What about the weekend of sport? We had the Tyson fight. We had V8s, cricket, ABL's back. Davo is here. Davo, good evening.
Davo, how you going, mate?
Here. Yeah, all good.
All good. Great to have you on, mate.
See you.
We're just saying how much sport there was on the weekend.
I didn't get to see any of it.
You've seen a bit of sport, though, didn't you?
I'll say sport.
Sport and your sport. No, it was action-packed. I reckon you could have had 5 TVs running on the weekend and the amount of sport that was on and all the different live sports and things. So it was good stuff. How's the cricket been going, Davo?
Pretty good. That's why I was late. Actually, we just had to book. We're off to Dabble now in January. Ella's been selected in the under-15 state challenge. Yep. So it's the New South Wales country. So New South Wales country takes on city or metro. There's 2 country teams, 2 metro teams, and from that they'll choose a under-15 state team to play at nationals. So
nice.
Got an email to Savo, so SAB's costing us even more money, but very exciting for her.
You wouldn't have it any other way, mate. No doubt.
No. So I'll be.
What about your cricket though?
Yeah, we're going all right. We suffered our first loss on the weekend, but no, hitting them pretty well. I'll have to send through a photo. One that I didn't hit well or didn't hit at all. My head was looking up in the trees, and all of a sudden, there go my stumps.
I got some good photos of it. There you go. Video or photo?
Photo.
Yeah. Brilliant. Look forward to that. I wish I had it half an hour ago. I could have put it to a slideshow.
That's probably why I didn't send it through to you.
Fellas, it's been a few. I actually couldn't tell you how long it's been since we've had these 2 lads on, but the MFTB Sports Channel is back for another edition here on Sports Rewind. Now, if you haven't followed the channel, go over there and follow their YouTube channel, their Facebook, and they're all over the place, talking all different types of sports. Now, last time we had them on, we're talking about F1 and wrestling and things like that. They've branched out a fair bit and they've grown their channel quite a lot. So it'll be good to get them on. I think they're just finishing up those brisket pies you left in there. I think they were full throttle ones, weren't they, Randall?
Yeah, they must have been. I think they were full throttle. They're selling them everywhere at the moment. So I'm going from servo to servo and bakery to bakery just to try and find out where I can get them from. And yeah.
I think they've been in the pie warmer, though, for a good couple of weeks. So they're probably a bit crunchy. But anyway, we'll get them on and we'll have a chat about all things sport. Fellas, they did ask me not to mention the rugby. So make sure we don't bring that up too early, all right? Maybe 3 or 4 minutes in. All right, we'll put them on anyway.
I'm not giving them that long.
Oh, Matt and Tom, how are we, fellas?
Not too bad.
How you doing?
Yeah, we're good. We're good. Mate, I'm loving that hat. That is an absolute gem of a hat.
Thank you.
Formula One season, fellas, is getting pretty close to a finish. I know you cover a lot of Formula One. Watched a few of the lives this year, earlier on in the year. How's the F1 season going for you blokes?
It was a
a really exciting season, especially for like the British side of things, with Lando Norris looking like he was close to getting a title, but 3 races remaining. It looks like he's kind of choked, and McLaren have been leapfrogged by Ferrari now. So if they're not careful, Ferrari are going to end up coming away with McLaren. Even they're going to look like they're going to come away with nothing, because Ferrari could even steal the Constructors' Championship. So what was looking like it was really good. Looks like it's going to be a bit disappointing, but I think we're in for a good couple of races coming up in Las Vegas and Qatar, that's for sure. Yeah,
I think so too. It's been exciting to watch. I've been following along with F1 this season a fair bit. For you guys, Sports Channel covering mostly F1 and WWE early on. Tell us what you're doing now. It's you're branching out a fair bit.
Bit of everything.
Yeah, we kind of, as a sports channel, eventually one day the aim would be is to be one of the places to go for as many sports as you can possibly see. So my love is Premier League football, because that's massive in the UK and throughout the world. I'm a Liverpool fan. You're unfortunately an Arsenal fan, aren't you? So, you know, what's that joke they turn around and say about Arsenal's like Netflix? You're always waiting for the next season. I'll work that one in. That's good off the top there.
That's a good one.
So, and then we also now cover boxing, UFC, as well as obviously WWE, because it made sense to bring UFC under the same umbrella. They're still very early days for us. We also do the rugby, tennis, snooker, you name it. Bit of everything that we can possibly get a good understanding of. I wouldn't say we could do cricket, because although cricket is one of the most popular sports in the world, just haven't got the understanding of it. So as long as we've got a basic enough understanding that we don't look like amateurs, we've introduced it to our channel.
I love
Wing it. We do.
Yeah. Good fun. I mean, you get to learn about different sports too and follow different areas of each sport. Like you might branch down and say rugby union, for instance, and the Wallabies are playing, you know, England or something like that. And what was the score, Randall? Yeah.
Oh, I think it was about 50.
You had to go there, didn't you? We said beforehand, don't rub it in.
No, but you know what I mean. Like you get to learn different aspects of different sports.
Yeah,
different aspects of different sports, and you sort of get to go down different branches and find different loves in different parts of the sports, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the boxing was quite a good one, because I've enjoyed personally doing a bit more of the boxing, and we had the big old Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson sloppy fest, you know, and a lot of people had a lot of issues with Netflix, and that doesn't bode well for WWE going over to Netflix in January, because a lot of people couldn't access it and it was buffering like crazy. Obviously, it was 8 rounds of just 2 people dancing around the ring and stroking each other, weren't it?
Pretty much.
So I
well, he wasn't allowed to uppercut.
Try and join in the high.
Yeah, I think that I sat down all day. You know, it started at midday here on the Sunday, so it was perfect. Oh, sorry, Saturday. So it was perfect viewing for us. Drizzly, rainy day. So I was like, oh damn, I can't mow the lawn. I'm just gonna have to sit here all day and just watch the fights. But the 2 undercards beforehand were probably the better 2 fights of the whole fight anyway.
Yeah. Well, Tyson's come in for a lot of criticism for it. Everyone's saying he should just hang up his gloves now, but I think when he's being offered $20 million just to dance around the ring for 8 rounds, I don't think he's going to turn. It looks like he's going to be facing Logan Paul next as well. He's challenged him, so.
Well, it's in his contract, wasn't it, that if one, he couldn't throw uppercuts. It was in his contract that he couldn't throw uppercuts, and B, that if the fight didn't go all the rounds, if he hadn't knocked him out in the first round, would have got no money. If he knocked him out in the second round, he would have got like 20 grand or something. Third round, so he was on like a pro rata sort of round by round as to how much he would get paid for the fight.
Yeah. I just hope that it doesn't prove that it was all fixed. That's because obviously he's coming for quite a lot of criticism for the boxing, you know, the natural fans all turn around saying these social media stars aren't doing anything for the sport. And there's supposedly a script that's been leaked all over social media where it's a round by round breakdown of everything that happens. So if it comes out that it was staged, then that's not going to do nothing for the sport.
No.
Go
Even
WWE
what you said,
like his
Dave,
brother.
about the. Sorry, mate. What was that?
Paul should go to WWE like his brother then, if it's going to be scripted.
Yeah, exactly that, yeah.
I heard the same sort of thing what you said, Dave, about 20% after round 1, 30 and goes on. I was hoping that someone would just go, rightio, well, I'm gonna throw you the money in, and you go in the first round and just knock him out. That would have been heaps better entertainment. Would have loved that. I think we all would have liked it, but yeah. Randallsy 68. How are you, mate? Been watching a couple of your YouTube videos. He's been streaming a bit or posting a few videos there, Randall. So
yeah,
I couldn't figure out what game it was he posted. He said he was going to give someone a shout out if I could pick the game. I couldn't pick it. So
yeah, he had a school project for high school. It was their passion project. They were given, I think, $50, and they had to come up with something that they enjoy doing and actually put it out there for people to see. So him and a couple of his mates decided to do a podcast. I said,
yeah, right.
No one listens to this sort of shit anyway. So what are you doing? He said, "Don't worry, Dad. We're not going to be anything like yours." So I think he's already got more subscribers.
Might get a few.
He's got more than us already.
Yeah, beauty. Good on him.
And he's only 13. So good job.
Yeah, good for him.
Love it. I love it. Yeah, so
sorry, there you go.
You go, Dover.
I was just going to say, what do you guys think of WWE going to Netflix next year? There's talk they're going to get back to like the mid-90s sort of wrestling where there's going to be blood, there's going to be like back to the good old days. So what's your take on them going to Netflix?
Well, as you say, it's gonna be good for us because in the UK, unless you pay £25 a month, we can't see it because it went behind a paywall about 2 years ago. So you have to do it through TNT Sports now. So when it goes on Netflix and we actually get the whole lot, including all the pay-per-views, included in the Netflix subscription, it's a massive winner for us. I think there's a few concerns about whether Netflix is going to be able to cope with it because as soon as people tune in on the first Monday, because they've announced, I can't remember the rock star's name, but last night they announced the rock star that's appearing on there for the first premiere. Then you got the return of John Cena for his retirement tour. But I think it's going to be good for us, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is. We're a bit worried how they're going to do the adverts because that's what they were talking about. But seeing the Logan and Tyson fight, you could sort of see how they were going to planning on doing the adverts with the screen part side of things.
Yep.
So, because we know that the Americans love their adverts, and all of a sudden they just cut away and do something about used cars. So, I think the whole thing is going to do very well, I think, and bring in more money, which is the ultimate game, what they want at the end of the day. And I think with Vince gone now, I think it opens up, and like you said, I think they can go back to the 90s style of wrestling, which is what me and I grew up watching, and that's what got us into it.
Same here.
The good old days for me was the Rock and Sock combination, or Mankind versus Triple H, and
we've seen
APA for me.
We've seen slowly but surely the kind of the turning of the tide the last 12 months really since Triple H has taken control.
Yes.
And they announced
you can see it.
Yeah, it's a massive difference. In the storylines are more edgier and it's less sort of entertainment and gimmicky now. And they've announced now as well that when it goes over there, it's going to be TV 14 rather than PG. So that's another good step in the right direction as well.
And the last pay-per-view they had was the first one in a long time when there was blood on there and YouTube didn't go black and white.
Wow.
So, they're certainly getting a little bit more edgier now.
Yeah, definitely. We're looking forward to it.
It might be good for them going to Netflix, and obviously it's better for you guys over there not having to pay that other subscription and you have your Netflix subscription and go through. Do you know what other sports they're gonna go with lives? I heard they were gonna have some sort of football on there as well. Have you heard anything about that? Or
it wouldn't surprise me because Amazon do have got a lot of the Premier League football at the moment, haven't they?
Yeah, I think Amazon are more going to be. They've already got a lot of the football already over here. They take a good third of the fixtures now already on Prime.
Okay.
I think the next big one, I think that Netflix will be going for in the next couple of years or so, I think, be the F1. It's a natural progression from Drive to Survive. And I think once they eventually get it off of Sky, because Sky monopolise most of the TV coverage throughout the world, I can see it going over to Netflix. I think that's going to be the next big one.
I think they're branching out to NFL as well.
Yeah, right. Okay.
I believe there's a big one on Christmas Day on Netflix.
There is too. That's right. I did see that last week. So that'll be good.
The big controversy over here, though, in the UK is the fact of that for years we've never had to pay TV licensing fees for anything that was streaming. But obviously, because now all of these streaming channels now are going over and doing live sports, now they're hammering us over here and saying, well, now you've got to pay TV license fee for that as well. You just can't win either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
That's how it is out here. Majority of the sports is on Fox Sports. So if you don't have a Foxtel subscription, you miss out on a lot. If we want Premier League, we're with Optus Sport. So we've got to stream Optus Sport because my daughter loves her football. So, yeah, we have Optus Sport so we can watch the Premier League.
There's a fee for everything now in the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It won't be long until they start doing fees for they'll include YouTube in it. You have to be so careful with it already, but as YouTube now starting to dip their toes into live sports as well, they're going to start hammering down on that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we saw that last year with the MLB, didn't we? There was one game a week was on YouTube, streamed live on YouTube, and I think this year they went to Apple TV. But
yeah, they've been Apple TV for a few years, and kills me. You pay, your money for MLB TV each year to get your 162 games of your team, and then one game where you can actually sit down and watch the whole thing, and it's an Apple TV game. You're like, I don't have Apple subscription, and you can't have them all.
Fortune.
We're not all electricians like you, Randall.
Well,
So
$100 notes to drop shakes, mate.
Everywhere. So,
is what it is.
So what sport did you, Blakes, other than the Tyson fight on the weekend, what sports did you guys watch over the weekend?
Weren't really a lot of sports on, as far as obviously you had the Tyson and Paul match, but the big thing over here really was obviously you had the rugby. We'll gloss over that one, third loss in a row. And then because I can see they're going to get in there first in that one. And then also we had the England football team as well, which at least they're winning. So at least England's winning something. But Premier League.
Yeah, it's not the World Cup though.
No, it's only the Nations League, so it's kind of a bit. It's a
they can win most things except the World Cup.
Yeah, we never do anything in the World Cup anyway, so we'll gloss over that one. But
I think that goes for all sports, doesn't it? For you guys,
sorry?
That goes for all sports for you guys, doesn't it? You do well until it comes to World Cups. Rugby, football, cricket.
Yeah, we're choked in the F1. We choke in the football. We do a pretty good job choking, really, don't we? So we don't do well in the cricket, I don't think either. So overall,
he's going right in the darts, though. I think, don't you? Darts, he's always up there. Isn't the last couple of world champions? I think he's a. I don't know. Anyway,
we've got Luke Little coming through on the darts,
isn't it?
Yeah.
He's killing it. We talked about him a few times last year. He had some record, Randall. Do you remember what it was? He was like the youngest bloke to have 180 or 501 in 11 darts or something, wasn't it?
I'm pretty sure he was the youngest person ever to look like he was 47.
That's him.
Something like that.
That's why it's like living over here. That's the problem.
Standing around at 14 drinking pints at the bar. Like, mate, you look like you've aged well.
Fellas, I'm loving the
all Aussies as well.
Sorry, Nova, you go.
No, I was just going to say about the football. Not all Aussies are doing well. Our poor old Ange is copping a bit of flack over there. One of his players, what did he cop, a 7-match ban for a racial slur of a teammate?
Yeah, he said something naughty about his teammate Heung-min Son. So in pre-season, slammed him with a 7-game ban. But I don't know, with Ange, it's a funny one because obviously Tottenham, they're always a nearly their club anyway, but fans think that they're a top 4 club. And a few people we work with are Tottenham fans, so, they kind of probably have a go at us tomorrow. But, I don't think he does too bad. The only thing with Andrew, when he does his interviews, he's always like, nah. And it's just like, I struggle sometimes to see how he motivates a team and gets them going, unless he's completely different on the other side and gives them a good rollicking.
I think he is. That's the way it's been with the media out here in Australia. I think he was in Scotland for a little while after leaving Australia. So he's that way in front of the media. But from what I've heard, he's a good communicator to the players.
Yeah. He's very good with fans. When he first got the Tottenham job last season, and there was a few different things with that he'd done for charities and the fans hanging outside the stadium and stuff like that. He's brilliant. The fans absolutely adore him. I don't see him going anywhere. It's just the expectations with Tottenham are too high for where they are. But, it's like that with every club in the Premier League. Everyone wants to win.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like every sport. Everyone wants to win. You've got to want to win. You've got to love it.
There's only one that counts. And unfortunately, nowadays, football is just becoming about who's backed by the biggest state, whether it be Saudi Arabia or Abu Dhabi, things like that, or Americans. It's all about who's got the biggest wallets nowadays to even put up a competition.
A lot of the sort of bigger names that are coming to the end of their careers are heading that way, aren't they? I mean, why not chase that extra bit of dollar before you retire? And
it's a difficult one. I mean, it's like we put a video up last week or the week before, didn't we, about Leo Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. And it's a very, very split decision on who likes who. But I just think neither player, obviously Messi went over to America and Ronaldo's gone over to Saudi for the big bucks over there. But both of them could have still cut it in Europe if they stayed over here. I don't think they don't need the money, so why not stay where they could have got some decent glory?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe a bit of a holiday for a few years before they retire. I don't know.
Get paid $40 million a year, I suppose.
Why not? But
you ask him to be we're growing the game in other countries. We're growing the game, as well as their bank balance.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. Hey, speaking of growing the game, our baseballers growing the game over there in Japan. The Japanese, we've had the Premier 12 baseball championship, and the Japanese they absolutely love the Aussie baseballers. But the Aussie baseballers, when did we finish up? 8th, I think, after all the round play, we're out. But tell you what, it's been a absolute cracker of a series to watch. We've got a few things up here to go through if I can figure it out. It's been a while. Come on.
You've got one job.
One job.
Don't mind. We appreciate that.
So, opening round was Wednesday night against Japan. I don't know if you blokes watched any of it, but a bullpen game 1 against Japan is pretty much saying we're laying down against you and not having a go. I didn't agree with it. I don't know about you fellas. Randall, did you see any of it? Davo?
I only saw highlights, mate. But I think it's pretty. Japan are the number 1 team in the world. They just won the World Baseball Classic. They didn't have obviously a lot of their big names, like they didn't have their Shohei Ohtani's or who else they have? Tommy Edman, DeYoung, all those sort of guys. But still, they're the second best competition in the world.
Yeah,
and currently the best team. Have a crack at them. Like,
I would have liked to have seen it.
You throw in a bullpen game and you get beat 9-3. Like, come on.
12 pitches used in that first game. I understand the reasoning behind it, so that he's got his pitches for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, but they went into the Friday game and they beat Dominican Republic 5-0. Cuba beat us 4-3 in an absolute ball terror of a game. Chinese Taipei 11 defeated us 3, and then Korea beat us 5-2 yesterday. So that rounds out Australia's day in the Premier 12. So couldn't tell you who's in it for the final. I could probably find out, but I don't really care because Australia's gone. So I can tell you right now, boys, that England is not in that baseball Premier 12.
Yeah, definitely not.
Did you was it last year's World Baseball Classic? They represented Great Britain, and you should have seen their shirts. Do you write this down and do some research after the show? Just type in WBC Great Britain baseball jersey 2023. It was like straight out of a Word document. It just had Great Britain across the front. It was horrible. But
game one, and like
it's always
the letters were falling off in the first game. Of like, it was like, what are you doing? Like, this is equivalent to the World Cup.
Yeah,
it's about right for us.
But anyway, there is a bit of baseball that does get played over there anyway. So there is a few pretty high-level tournaments over there. I can't remember what part of England you blokes from.
We're from down in Essex. So, just about an hour away from London, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hence the dodgy accents.
Never noticed.
That's why I sound a bit Essex. Like Essex.
Do you guys catch much of the NFL? Do you guys watch the NFL or?
It's on in my household on a Sunday morning after my little boys watch Peppa Pig.
There you go.
Well, haven't moved over to Bluey yet?
So it's on in the background, but
yeah,
I don't really understand it, to be honest.
Yeah, right. Did you hear that one from Davo just then?
What's that?
Say it again, Davo.
Well, you haven't moved over to Bluey yet? You're still with Peppa Pig?
Still on Peppa Pig, yeah, not Bluey yet. No, I watched that when he's gone to bed.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Who gets more enjoyment?
Well, let's go over some scores from the NFL. I know there's going to be one score that you blokes are going to be into me about, but we'll get there. Dave, your Commanders went down to the Eagles. I watched the highlights, 26-18. They got done. Did you see any of that one, mate?
They were in it for the first half, and then the Eagles just threw on two touchdowns in the space of like 2 minutes, and that just blew them away, and they were done after that.
Yeah, done indeed. This one, the Packers, 20-19 over the Bears. That one was on at work the other morning. It wasn't a bad game. The Packers are now 7-3. Does that surprise you?
Yep.
Not really?
Surprises me.
Yeah.
I thought that would have been shit.
Yeah, surprises me too. This one doesn't surprise me, though. The Lions are putting on some points, 52-6 over the Jags. They're 9-1. They are my red-hot favourites to win it. I know you blokes, I think might have been you, Dave, talking them up early again as well in this season.
I backed them at $12.
Yeah. They are
$5 favourites.
There you go. Dolphins 34 over the Raiders 19. The Rams beat the Patriots 28-22. The Saints over the Browns. That game was just all over the place. The Steelers 18 over your Ravens 16. Randall, what happened?
Don't know, mate. It was too early in the morning for me.
Was that the 5 a.m. game?
That was the 5 a.m. game.
Yeah.
Don't get out of bed before that too early.
It's all right when you have night shift that finishes on that day. It's always good. Vikings 23 over the Titans 13. The Colts 28 over the Jets 27. The Broncos 38-6 over the Falcons. They're both 6-5. That was a bit of a thrashing. The Seahawks beat the 49ers, so they're both 5-5. The Bills beat the Chiefs 30-21. Been saying it all year. Again, the Chiefs have been pretty average. The Bills just played all over them. I would have thought it would have been a higher score than what it was, to be honest.
Yeah,
you see any of that?
Chiefs got lucky, mate. Again, the referees' pets every game. There was a few, face mask, infringements that were blatantly obvious. They didn't get called, things like that. But Chiefs got their first loss, first of a few. But as we know, the Bills can beat them in regular season, but come the playoffs, yeah, they cannot win.
Chargers 34 over the Bengals 27. The Texans beat the Cowboys, and the Cowboys' roof is falling down. Not just the team's roof, but the actual playing surface roof. Did you see the size of the sheet metal that fell from that?
I sure did. What was it, about 7 or 8 foot long or something like that? And
about a metre wide.
Yeah, it was pretty big. That fell from all the way up on the roof. Just lucky that it actually missed everyone.
It fell because they were opening up the roof. So it was a nice night in Dallas. So I thought, well, let's open up the roof. As they started opening up the roof, this bit of metal fell to the ground. Thankfully, didn't hit anyone, but another piece dropped as well and was stuck up on the catwalk, up on the roof. So they suspended play until a poor old worker in the full safety harness was up in the catwalk, up in the roof, and secured it to the catwalk. Then they allowed the game to go ahead.
Only a multi-billion-dollar company, but anyway, yeah. So that was the NFL round. Yeah, it was pretty good to watch a few of those games this week. I've been a couple of weeks since I've watched a few good games, but there was a couple on. Randall, I mentioned to you, I think it might have been on the Friday when it was qualifying. I was saying that your cousin Thomas Randall was doing all right. He finished third in the V8s over there in Adelaide on the weekend.
Yeah, he I think on the Saturday, I think he finished 5th. He was there sitting in second place. I think he might have started in second off the grid. I think Cam Waters might have been in pole position
on the
Sunday, I remember rightly. On Saturday.
Yeah. Okay.
And the Mustangs didn't have any pace. I don't know what was going on. They were quick early, and as the race went on, those Red Bull cars were absolutely flying. So,
do you guys get the V8s over there?
We don't get no coverage over here, but I'm obviously aware of it because over here the biggest coverage really is for Bathurst. Really, we don't get so much coverage over here now because our domestic series over here is called the British Touring Car Championship. And many years ago, we used to get all the super touring drivers that used to be over here, used to go and do the guest drives when they were all paired up. But since then, obviously, we don't get no international drivers over here anymore. So, because you haven't got that kind of unification where they can pop over there and do it, we don't get the publicity that we used to. And it's another one of those sports that's behind a paywall. I think it's on like Motors TV or something over here.
Yeah. Okay. That's a bit of a bugger. I mean, I love watching the V8s. It's just, I don't know. It's different. We had them live in our city for how many years, Randall? 4 years? 3 years?
3 years, yeah.
3 or 4 years in Newcastle, and then which is 15 minutes from our house, and
good street circuit.
And then, it was unreal circuit, but right on the beach, and but the local residents put up a bit of a stink, and they're gone. So it's a shame because there's a street called Watt Street, and it sort of goes up a hill, buildings lined either side of it, and you're in that whole section there is just rumbling. It was unreal. Loved it.
Cracking series. The noise out the V8s is just phenomenal. When you see that and you hear those cars, they're proper cars, not like all these hybrids nowadays. You see it on the support bill for the Australian Grand Prix each season as well. It just makes the F1 cars sound like they're on mute. It's amazing.
Hey, speaking of the Aussie F1, do you remember if they had the Aussie racing cars on that circuit? I can't remember if they do or they don't. They're like a little what are they? Ran or 1 litre or 1200 or something.
Yeah,
they're like a Hayabusa engine in them or something, aren't they?
What's
something
that,
like
sorry?
that. Yeah,
They're called Aussie racing cars. They're like tiny.
Okay.
You often see them 4 wide on corners, but they fly. They hook. We had one of the drivers, one of the local drivers, Charlotte Pointing, on here maybe a year ago, maybe even longer, talking about the sport, and it's interesting to see, if you had heard of it or not.
No,
it's another good one to have a look at, and they're pretty quick.
V8 stuff. It's the V8, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry, what was that? I missed that.
The main stuff we hear domestically for Australia is the V8s, really. Other than that, we don't really. And is it Formula 5000 you got over there, I think, isn't it? In the Tasman series?
Not sure. So Will Brown won the series over here, and it was a cracker final race. I love watching the Adelaide 500 and all the sort of endurance events. Hey, another pretty cool one with the Adelaide 500 this year. They had sprint cars, so they dropped in a sprint car track in the middle of the city. Been packed down for 2 weeks, and they had I don't know if you blokes have heard of Timez. He's on YouTube. He's a sprint car driver in the US, and he come over and captured a fair bit of the Aussie sprint car series over here, and it was good fun, good to watch. We had Clay per view. I think it cost you $35 to watch it over here, but it's pretty awesome to see them in the city, and the drivers, instead of going to a country track, or most of our speedways are in country towns, it was right in the middle of the city, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, the city races are always pretty cool. Anything that brings it closer to the fans is always pretty epic. When you don't like when F1 visits the cities,
I'm not overly keen on street circuits in Formula
1.
Yeah, Formula 1's a bit different, I reckon. I think they're next level. I think they deserve their own track, and but street circuits here for the V8s are really good. Like, you look at the Gold Coast, Adelaide, or Newcastle. When Newcastle was here, they're all very tight and very technical. If you see any highlights from Adelaide over the weekend, you have a look at one of the chicanes, and it's just like there's so many crashes. They're millimeters off the wall, and brilliant watch. What else have we got, fellas? Cricket. You blokes watch much of the cricket? I know, Randall, we're talking about the Women's Big Bash League. Dave, have you been catching much of that?
A little bit of it. The daughter went to the Sydney Smash the other day down at the SCG.
Calm the thunder.
Yeah. So it's been a good series so far. Like, because there's no women's international cricket on at the moment, it is a strong field. We have international players from all over the world in the WBBL this year. So it's made the series that much better. We have your British players, you have your South Africans, you have your Indians. So they're putting a really good product on the field at the moment, and it's been quite good to watch. And then the men, we flogged Pakistan the other night, or last night. Stoinis finally got onto a few. Hit a 6 out of the stadium. Yeah. It was just such a clean hit. They turned the noise off it, and just to hear the sound off the bat was good. So, Test series starts soon against India. They're trying to say that it's getting as big as an Ashes series. Like, it'd be getting, I don't think it's quite there yet. Maybe there's more supporters because there's a lot more Indians and a lot more people following it, but still not close to an Ashes series for us. They will always hold the top level of cricket.
For us too. What about Sweeney, fellas? Do you think good selection?
I think so. Yeah.
We'll see. Someone's going to come in, so he's probably the best of what we got.
Been informed, so.
And Khawaja's 37, so he's not going to be around much longer. So they really start to need to make changes now, get more youth in, because otherwise it's good to blood one young player now. Uzi can go this summer. If he then retires, you've got someone who's had a summer, bring in another young guy. So, team's not getting any younger.
Yeah. Matt and Tom, much cricket around your area? Like, do you guys have much county cricket, or is that on at the moment, or are you not 100%?
There's a lot of cricket down where I work. There's a cricket pitch opposite me. But apart from that, that's about it, really. I don't know what's around your...
No, I mean, cricket, obviously, over here is a popular sport, but I mean, we don't follow it personally. We're not into it. I couldn't get my head around it, to be honest. But yeah, it's well popular over here. It's one of those things when I was looking at expanding the channel, whether I attempted to bring it in, because it surprised me to find that cricket was the most popular sport in the world.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Well, that's what happens when there's a billion Indians watching it, I suppose.
Yeah, that's it. They're pretty fanatical. Cricket's really hard one to cover on YouTube. Well, the way I do my little shorts and things, it's really hard to do that style with cricket. There's lots of different copyright things get you forward with cricket. So I've stopped posting about cricket. I put stuff on Facebook, but I can't do anything on YouTube. I got stung a few times, so I've stayed away from it. I don't want to, get restricted in any way. So
no,
there's been plenty of cricket on here, and watched a fair bit of the women's Big Bash, fellas. That has been good. How many more weeks has that got to go? It's not long, is it?
No, I think another week or two just before the Test series kicks off.
Yeah.
I think there's like 2 rounds, I think, or 2. Everyone's got 2 games left, I think.
Okay.
Something like that.
So.
I'm sure that's what they said last night. So
Thunder's doing well.
Thunders, they were at the top of the table until last night, but there was a washout.
Okay.
I think was that last night, Davo, or the night before they played the Sixers again?
It's them and
Sunday.
Is it
Sunday
Brisbane
night.
or Renegades up there? Or
there were 3 teams. 3
Oh,
teams on 10 points.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, there were.
And it's good. Everyone's now getting to see Kiva Bray, like the 15-year-old for the Sixers.
From up our way, Denman.
Yeah, Ella came up against her in like under 13s, and we watched her, and she was just a freak at 12. It's like you could see how much better she was than everyone else. And now everyone's getting to see how good she is at 15.
Yeah, so they were saying last year she was in the grandstand. Well, last season she was in the grandstand at 14, getting autographs from the Sydney Sixers players, and this year she's out there bowling for the Sydney Sixers. Yeah, at 15 years old, and getting international batswomen out.
110 k's an hour at 15. She's bowling, and Ella faced her about 2 months ago in the nets for cricket trials, and said, "No, didn't see it."
Don't blame her.
Oh, that's quick though.
So she's a gun, and she's also in the Matildas, emerging Matildas, the under-19 Matildas side, as a goalkeeper as well.
Yeah, right.
You often find that with women in sport, don't you? They excel at many different sports. Like if you look at some of the top women cricketers, they do play other sports, and interesting.
Well, at least Perry's that classic, isn't she? Where she played football for Australia and also cricket for Australia, and had to pick.
Yeah,
and she was playing in the Women's A League and also in the Women's Big Bash.
There you go.
Obviously, cricket won for her, but
fellas, where do we go to check out your YouTube channel? But where else? You're on Facebook, aren't you?
Yeah, so we're on Facebook, and we're also on Twitter, X, whatever they want to call it nowadays. So we're on there, and also we're on Reddit as well, so you can catch us on there.
I just checked out your Reddit 5 minutes before we got on air today, because I went onto your YouTube and had a bit more of a poke around, and the Reddit page looks good. I don't really understand Reddit and what's going on there, but yeah, the way it's set up looked really good. So I'm going to have to investigate a bit more and see what you post on there. So be interesting.
It's good. It's worth having a look on there. It's good for eyeballs, because at the end of the day, you do your posts and everything all then gets shared and then directs over to YouTube. So it's good for your video content and getting eyeballs to your brand. And then if you can start building up subreddits and you get sort of more people joining you, just get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
As long as you've read it, yes, right.
That's right. That's right. Well, you blokes still do your lives for the Formula Ones?
Yeah. So we do our Monday chats every week. So we've just done our recording, which should have been last night, but the traffic was a nightmare. So that's going out tonight for Viva Las Vegas. I won't sing it for you like I did in our video, because Tom will tell me off. So we got that one, and then we'll have our review and preview for Qatar next week as well. So we've got 3 more to go, and then we'll do an end of season review where we'll have a guest who's chomping at the bit to come on for our end of season review on a Monday as well.
There you go. I caught the tail end of your guest last week, the New Zealand lady. So that was pretty cool. So you guys are branching out and getting guests on now and talking about different sports and things. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
how are you enjoying that?
It's all about eyeballs and anybody that like to come on and just chat sport, because as a sports channel we enjoy all sports, or ones that I can get an understanding on. We can just try and branch out, and our next thing I'd love to find is someone in America. That would be the next big one for me, is to try and find someone to get into the American side of things, as long as I don't start talking about NFL, because I've not got a clue.
Fair enough. We've got plenty of baseball contacts for you if you wanted to talk baseball, but
Tom will do that one. Tom will do that. I'll give him some homework.
There you go. No, it's always good fun to talk sports, and good to see you blokes doing really well. I'd love to know. I think last time you were at about 300 subscribers when we chatted, and you're getting close to that 1,000 mark now. I think when I looked earlier today, it was like 950 or 951. So massive achievement. I know it's a long grind to get there, and you guys have done really well with the channel and very consistent, which I think is very important. So
it's a grind, but it's a patient grind, and hopefully it pays off in the end. Yeah. But we've been a little bit surprised. We had targets in our head where we wanted to be by the end of the year, and our year anniversary is January next year, and we wanted to be at certain not our personal anniversary. That's right. We just wanted to be certain, sort of milestones, if I suppose is the words, and we're kind of ahead of where we wanted, and we were really chuffed as well because we hit over 500,000 views last month as well, didn't we? So it's getting there. It's just patience, and you got to take the ups, but then you also have to accept the lows as well.
Yeah, and there's plenty of them. Like anything in business, or you're up and down. So it's been good watching the progress. That's for sure. I appreciate you fellas coming on. Make sure you go and jump over to their YouTube channel, MFTB Sports, Facebook, Reddit, X, wherever you are viewing this from right now, and get over there and check them out. It's been a pleasure, fellas.
We appreciate the support from you guys as well, because you were the first channel that got in contact with us and brought us on to your channel and live and stuff, and the support we've had from you guys right the way through has been amazing. So thank you all for that.
No problems at all. It's good fun.
Just don't forget us. Don't forget us when you're rich and famous.
No, we won't.
Don't forget to spread it this way as well.
Oh, we ain't going nowhere.
We'll be still here in 50 years' time with 10 viewers. So
Dave I won't.
Yeah.
The fossil
anytime we get the bag out, We're all for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Doesn't matter sport.
I have forgotten one thing that we needed to talk about too, fellas, before we go. The ABL was on this week, and we haven't mentioned that. The Australian Baseball League has started. Our Sydney team has absolutely pumped the first week. It's been an absolute gem. Let's have a quick look here at the ABL after round one standings. The Blue Sox are 3-1. The only game they lost was the Wells versus Wells matchup. So, Tom and Matt, we have two local kids that are playing. One of them played Major League Baseball in America, and the other one's playing in the minor leagues. And one's playing for Sydney, which is our closest team, and the other one's playing for Adelaide, who have won the last two seasons. So it was a big match up here, and it was really good to see. So the attendance of almost 10,500 of the Australian Baseball League on opening weekend. So an increase of almost 20% from 2023. So that was pretty cool.
Brilliant.
21,000 in Melbourne on open night and almost 900 in Sydney. So really good signs for Australian baseball seeing that. I did enjoy it. What are you laughing at, Randall?
Just you said 21,000 in attendance in the first game. It actually said
2,100.
And you said 900 in Sydney, and I think it said 1,900.
Yeah, there you go. I'm really good at math.
Your numbers are pretty good.
Yeah. And 52,000 in Perth as well. I don't know if it mentioned that, but no, it was it's good to see it back on, and I caught a bit of the Sydney games over the weekend, and Adelaide really missing their Australian representative players that were away. Like you could really tell that they're missing them. Sydney, I think game one, after 2 innings, we had 7. 3 innings, we had 7 left on base. It was just crazy. They end up getting the 3 wins, but that was good to see. The other one I didn't plug, fellas, I forgot to mention this one is, how about this old place, the old Lake Liddell Speedway up there at Lake Liddell, up near Musselbrook. It was pretty good setup up there. Great to see. That's the second time I've been up. I went up with the kids probably a month or so back and did some video this week. So go and check out those videos. There's carts. So these are the adult carts. They had junior carts, and they had the micro sprints. I think there's 600cc. Good night out up there at Lake Liddell. Good one for the family. You can take in your picnic dinner or your cans, Randall. So take the Esky in, and I think it costs you $20 for an adult and $10 for a kid. Kids under 10 are free. So pretty cheap night out and good entertainment. So go and check them out. Next event's on the 30th of November, I believe. So it was good fun. Fellas, any final words before we boot you back into the green room to finish off those couple of pies? Because we don't really want to clean out that pie oven.
Yeah, they're getting a bit smelly now and a bit out of date.
Need to freshen them up.
But no, it's just obviously just as Tom said, just thank you for having us on there. And if obviously anybody on your channel does like the sports that we cover, then give us a look. It'd be great to have as many people over there as possible. And yeah, hopefully next few weeks, couple of months, we'll hopefully try and work something out where we kind of do it the other way around. It'd be nice to have you guys on our channel as well.
Awesome. That'd be good fun.
Yeah.
Good fun. Not sure what we'll talk about because we're not good at sport. So
it's going well. You guys are still going well and going increasing as well. So
plug it away.
We subscribe and keep it all. We keep an eye on it and everything, don't we? We watch your content when it comes up, especially when you do the one that popped up a little while ago. Is when you done your video in the paddock for the V8. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
which gave me some inspiration for what we want to do for our. We're trying to do something for nationally for our touring car championship over here, where we've done a live video a few weeks ago with one of the drivers. We've got another one lined up, and eventually it'd be good. Kind of that gave me inspiration to be able to go to a paddock next year and get some live footage there.
Yeah. Nah, that was it. That was the V8 at Newcastle, and I'm still devo that we don't have it. It was a great event, but anyway, thank you, fellas. And any last remarks from you blokes? I haven't seen you for a couple of weeks. Got nothing.
Still ugly.
Nothing. Nothing changes.
Yeah, fair. All right, I'm going to end it there then. Nothing's changed. We'll talk to you next week. Maybe we might be on next week. It might be a solo show. Who knows what it will be? There'll be something up next week. It will be going from Tuesdays to either Monday or Wednesday, just depending on shift rosters and things like that. But Tuesday nights don't work in this household much anymore. So it's been pretty quiet here tonight, though. So it's been a good one, fellas. Thanks very much, and take it easy. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.